Hey guys, and welcome back to Castle Crush, and today we are going to be playing with an orc deck in double mana speed mode, and this should be pretty fun because we can get a lot of orcs out there between, well, just the regular orc metamorph and the orcs horde. So I've done a lot of skeleton themed decks. I haven't done very many orc themed ones. I guess it's partly because I'm kind of missing a card. Like, you know, if they had one more card, kind of like the archers have, like, you know, a handful of cards, the skeletons have a bunch of cards. The orcs have 2 cards. If they had like one more, it'd be like really good for themed videos. But even like this, it works well enough just because you can still spam them pretty easily and they work well with metamorph. So you can see right here just the ability to spam the orcs, as well as other annoying cards too, like the ice elemental, can be a nightmare to play against in double mana speed. I mean, the orcs themselves aren't really that great against like a lot of skeletons, but when you have huge stacks of them, it becomes a lot more difficult for your opponent to deal with. And right here, I was just trying to see how many orcs I was trying to see if I could get some more orcs out there. I've already got quite a few. And again, the orcs horde, metamorph. I had so much of my own stuff out there, even though they had skeletons. Like, I was still metamorphing my own stuff a lot of the time. So just some epic finishes here with the orcs in double mana speed. And again, trying to get the metamorph played here. The metamorph was a big part of this, and then I also put in a necromancer because I thought, you know, I don't want my stacks to get instantly destroyed or worn down over time. So the necromancer definitely helps with that. Even a resurrection might have been good, like right there where they took out my stack with the fire elemental. A resurrection probably would have been nice too. But again, here you can see my opponent's having trouble preventing my just army of orcs from developing here. But, you know, double mana speed is such a fun mode because there's so many different types of things you can try to do. I will admit, I do think skeletons are kind of an OP strategy, but they can be countered. And, you know, there's people who will try to use, like, cannon shot decks in this game mode. There are people who try to use, obviously, skeletons. There are people who try and use necromancer decks. I think necromancer can be really interesting in this game mode with a lot of different cards, honestly. So I might even try some other ones, but anything you can spam, I might try like an archer spam deck with necromancer, because that would be pretty interesting too. Maybe not archer queen just because she would end the match too quickly, but just trying to do it with archers and necromancer would be kind of fun. And then resurrection too. So I guess for now we're going to get back to making some Castle Crush stuff, and I appreciate everyone's suggestions. Some of them are quite good, actually. I was trying to look at what sorts of other games are popular to put in the rotation here, and it does seem like they're, you know, it's just something I'm going to have to look through and kind of try to make a decision at some point. But I guess for right now, we're just going to focus on trying to make as many videos as possible. That's just going to be my next thing here, because to try and keep growing this channel, I have to make a lot of content. That's really what it comes down to. I have to make a lot of videos. And I was doing that before, but, you know, things have kind of slipped off a little bit, and I need to try and get back to daily stuff. This match here was just funny because I got the necromancer in there, but then they were like trying to slowly wear down that stack with infernos. But the Inferno doesn't get rid of the Necromancer in one hit, so... And then I had a second Necromancer there in the middle lane. Unfortunately, it got Black Witched. Then I get another necromancer. So they're like trying to get rid of my stacks with the Inferno, but I just kept trying to get more necromancers out there. This one was a real battle of a match, like a real battle. But yeah, we might mix in some other, I don't know, I'm looking at a bunch of different games. Someone had pointed out Standoff 2, and then all of a sudden I looked into that and I was like, wait, there's a bunch of other FPS games that actually get a ton of views, like mobile FPS games get a ton of views on YouTube. I'm not really that into mobile FPS games, but just, you know, realizing the idea that, hey, there's a bunch of games out there that aren't the games everyone's talking about that actually have a lot of people who want to see videos of them. And, well, that was the case with Castle Crush. But there have been a lot of other games as well. For example, like some of the people who did videos on like the dinosaur games, like everyone was talking about Clash Royale. Meanwhile, there were people getting like more views than the top Clash like YouTubers. Just doing like dinosaur games like Jurassic World the game. They're getting like more views and for longer than some of the Clash Royale YouTubers did. And I don't even think a lot of people realize that because like people weren't hearing about it. Like there's a lot of games that go under the radar that don't get the same hype level, but they still have a lot of people who want to see videos on them. So that's always been the kind of thing with Castle Crush though. I mean, it was always a lot of people. Like, a lot of people didn't realize that there was actually an audience of people who wanted to see Castle Crush videos. And that's why when the game first came out, like, a lot of people didn't even touch the game. And then even after I was getting views, a lot of people still didn't touch the game. And I don't know. Somehow it ended up working out. But all good things must come to an end. And after, like, 3.5 years of Castle Crush, I don't know, I'm still feeling like I gotta do something, mix some other stuff in, but I do still want to keep trying to do any updates they put out. But I mean, again, the thing is, like, the last update they put out was in October, and it's been like a month and a half, and you know, when you're only getting updates like every handful of months, and you've already made as much content as I have, there's just only so much that I can make videos on when there's nothing new really happening in the game. So that's been part of my issue, is that there isn't really a lot of like new hyped updates to talk about. It kind of almost feels like the Castle Crush, like the developers are kind of like winding it down a little bit. I don't know. Because I don't feel like things are happening as fast as they used to, but maybe that's just like my imagination. It's hard, but luckily Castle Crush is still a pretty fun game. Honestly, I don't even think when Castle Crush came out, I really fully realized that it was actually going to be a much better game than like most of the other mobile games I'd played. Because I played so many mobile games that were just total trash. I don't know why I played them. I still played them anyways, but some of them were just totally like no good. And I had some that I invested money into and then they were shut down like while I was still actively playing them. All kinds of different scenarios. Like, it's just so hard to get like quality mobile games. And that's why when they do come along, you have to like really identify them and just try to get in those communities, because it's, you know, otherwise you just get stuck playing like Game of War, like clones and stuff like that. I think that's what it was called, Game of War. There were some other ones in there, but especially that one had so many clones. It's just like unbelievable. And I played some of them too, but they're all just cash grabs. But that type of thing, those type of like copied games are just so much of what were on the App Store for so long. And it really had me very discouraged about like where mobile was going. And I still am kind of concerned, but you know, getting Call of Duty mobile has been kind of like a big, like getting some of those big brand names back into the picture has been kind of a big deal. And especially like, you know, some of the other games becoming a little more popular now, like Brawl Stars. I think it's definitely helped that like a new sort of like wave of games has been forming. So hopefully I can get in on some of that and ride that. I still like Castle Crush a lot. I just don't know, you know, I just don't think it's going to like magically get like way more popular than it is currently. But we'll keep doing this stuff here. This was a lot of orcs out there. A lot of orcs. I've got a couple other cool ideas as well I'm going to work on here. Just some different things. I even had one where I was like, I'm going to try and get some clips from like 2 or 3 years ago and go back and like visit those clips and compare them between then and now and just try to see like how the game has changed a little bit. I thought that might be kind of a fun thing to do. I'd also thought about, what game is pretty popular right now? Again, Clash of Clans. Unfortunately, I've never really played Clash of Clans, but that might make a good video, just like my kind of reaction to it. I've played clones, but I haven't played the actual thing really. I think I installed it, never played it. But the reason I know it must be doing well, number one, there's a lot of people who've gone back to it, but number two, I was receiving ads for it. And, you know, a company doesn't usually put ads out for a game that is like, you know, on the back burner. So they must be actively doing something or trying to promote Clash of Clans. So who knows, I might give that game a shot. I had some fun videos from some of the clones I did, like Rival Kingdoms. That was a fun game, but it was based off of Clash of Clans in terms of the design. I also played Call of Duty Heroes, which was also based off of Clash of Clans in terms of the design. Both of those games I had fun with. So who knows, maybe I'll be playing some Clash. Obviously, I can't catch up in terms of like the monetization aspect, like the, you know, being a top player, because I'd have to spend too much money, but I could always try and just go for creative videos. So we'll just try and see what happens. Anyways, sorry for this long outro here. So leave a like if you enjoy. Let me know your thought about this video in the comments. And of course, what other types of content I should create, any ideas you guys have. Maybe subscribe if you're new to the channel for all kinds of more mobile content. And thanks for watching, guys, and stay tuned for more videos.